Hello everyone. My name is Blue Luna 31 Reactions. This is my first time on YouTube making a YouTube video, so I'm kind of nervous. Right now we're going to be reacting to a newer video that's a couple of days old by now, but I haven't seen a whole lot of YouTubers reacting to this one channel. It's called Horror Shorts Party, and let's get into it. Cross.
My family is very religious. I have a wife and a daughter named Cassie. We attend church every Sunday and say our prayers before bed every night. That's just how I grew up. My entire family is like that, even my cousins, aunts, and uncles. Every weekend we would all get together and pray for each other and for what was going on around us. We didn't think about it too much. It's just what we did. Everyone in each of our households was raised the same. It's how I was raising my daughter.
Yeah, not my kind of lifestyle. My parents, my mom specifically, was pretty Catholic growing up, and she hopefully thought that I would be the same. So when I was a kid, I had a first communion. She would try to get me to pay attention in church, but I was never really that into it. If you are, that's fine. But for me personally, I find it really hard to believe in something that there's no physical evidence of. Although I like to believe that there's something, considering that I'm really into watching like paranormal shows about ghosts and demons and stuff. I find that really interesting. I watched a lot of things like Ghost Adventures, A Haunting, growing up. So who knows, maybe this one will have something paranormal in it.
The parents in the family would enroll their kids in Catholic schools, and I did the same. I pushed Cassie to go to the local priest classes, just like everyone else in the family. We were very big on tradition. I did what my parents did, and they did what their parents did. I didn't think about it too much, and the priest always seemed very friendly. Everyone in the church was pretty chill, honestly. I would take my daughter and a few of the other kids in the family to the priest classes twice a week.
Is he one of those kitty-touching priests? Hopefully not.
It started out fine, but before long, something unusual started to happen. Every time I dropped Cassie off, she would start to cry. The other students would do the same. I just figured it was because they'd rather be playing outside, but something about the way they cried seemed strange. It was like they were scared as hell of the church. I didn't think too much of it at first. This was around the time The Conjuring came out, so the older folks assumed it was due to the film and all the scary nuns in the movie that all the kids were freaking out from. Honestly, I would have just let my daughter stop going to the classes, but I knew how the rest of my family would react, and just fall.
Oh crap, yeah, you know, you gotta think of your daughter before what the rest of your family thinks. Like, I've heard stories of people picking their religion over their own kids, and I think those are some shitty parents. Even my own parents would never do that. They're actually pretty good parents overall. But you gotta pick your daughter's safety over your religion and what your family will think of you. If your religion or your customs are harmful to someone, don't do them.
Followed the traditions and figured Cassie would grow out of the scared phase she was in. The problem was, she was also having nightmares every night about some monster. She wouldn't really tell me what they were about, but I could tell they were always the same. That probably wasn't helping with the situation. For the longest time, it kept being the same thing. Each time I dropped Cassie off, she would be scared out of her mind. There was nothing I could do to console her. She acted like I was dropping her off to see Pennywise. That's how bad it was.
Stop dropping her off, god damn it. Like, you gotta learn from you should have learned from, like, the first or second time that something's up. Or at least do some kind of investigation. Fucking asshole.
Then, after I picked her up, she would be so quiet and stay in her room drawing all day. She barely responded when I spoke to her, and every night, she would have nightmares about the same monster. This went on for a while. One day later on, I picked up Cassie from the church and she was even worse than usual. "Hey, how was class? Did you learn anything new?" She didn't say 2 words to me on the way home, and when we got there, she practically sprinted up to her room. Once again, she drew pictures for the rest of the day. She would never show me what she was drawing either. I asked her about it once and she told me,
"They're not for you."
I was really starting to think that something strange was going on.
Greetings, agents. I am Maxbot, your host. Welcome to the danger.
I knew I had to do something. One night, Cassie was at class along with the other students, and I decided to see what she had been drawing.
Look at this weird-ass motherfucker with the gold tooth that somebody probably knocked it out of his head after he touched their kid at a former church. Cross-eyed motherfucker looking like a fish with those things. I don't know, this dude just gave me the fucking creeps.
Along with the other students, and
Look at that ugly-ass smile.
I decided to see what she had been drawing. She always hid the drawings after she finished them, so I never had the chance to see them before. But this time, I was determined to find them. I looked in the usual hiding places. I looked under her bed, in her drawers, and under the mattress, but I couldn't find the drawings anywhere. I searched her room for a good 15 minutes until I found a huge stack of papers inside a big book on her shelf. They were all drawings. There must have been 100 of them. When I started looking through them, they creeped me the hell out. They were all of a monster-like figure hovering and creeping over a lying figure. The pictures varied slightly in the colors and surroundings, but they were all basically the same. Every single one had the same large stooping figure with a strange flowing body. They reminded me of a huge vulture staring down at its next meal. I figured these must all be the pictures of the monster from her nightmares, and I didn't blame her for being scared. The drawing gave me chills. I couldn't believe that they were my daughters. These weren't your typical child scribbles. I kept looking through the pile of papers until I noticed something that scared me even more. There was a familiar-looking shape in the upper right corner of one of the drawings. When I looked at it more closely, I realized it was a cross. I had no idea what a cross would be doing in all of these drawings of a monster, but then
Never trust never trust clergy members to be around your kids, in my opinion. You gotta be careful who your kids are around. Look for signs. Make sure the person they're around isn't a fucking creep. Holy shit. That would be fucking terrifying to find out if someone you thought you could trust was hurting your kids. I could never imagine.
Then I noticed there was a cross in every single one of the drawings. I couldn't believe it. The cross obviously symbolized the church, and it was all over Cassie's drawings of a monster. I didn't know what to think, but once I saw the cross, then everything else in the picture started to make sense, and the monster looked like it was wearing the robes of a priest. After the initial shock wore off,
I fucking knew it. Look at him, drooling like a rabid dog. Ugly ass motherfucker.
I called the police.
Touch the kids.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm calling about a priest in my church. The priest was arrested soon after. Since then, no one has heard anything about him. I think the church tried to cover it up. But I'll tell you this much. No one in my family enrolls in the classes conducted at that church anymore. This story was inspired by an incident that happened in 2016. A victim had repeatedly expressed that they no longer wanted to be a part of attending a priest's classes. After constantly displaying the same behavior, the victim was removed from the classes. But what makes the story more disturbing was the discovery of 6 bizarre drawings hidden amongst the victim's books. Here's an image of the first one. Here's an image of the second one. The drawings are pretty bizarre and downright terrifying as it looks like a monster-like figure hovering over someone. After disclosing the drawings to law enforcement, it later led to the arrest of the 54-year-old priest.
Ugh, sick bastard. Screwing kids? What the fuck? How fucked up in the head do you need to be attracted to little ass kids? The minute they said that the kids were crying after being all over the